I live on a private canal in Florida with my family. I'll keep the rest of my location private. Basically, it's a 15-minute ride out of the canal into the ocean. We have a couple jet skis and a boat, a 35-footer 2007 Proline Express. My dad's baby. He's the boat guy. The jet skis are for my sister and I. So there's 4 of us in the house. My mom, dad, sister, and I. I'm 23, she's 26. Nothing I say in the story will be me bragging at all. I'm just stating facts to help put the story into perspective. We have a few houses around the country. One in California, one in New York, and one in Florida. Our main house, I guess you could say, is our Florida house because that's where my sister and I grew up and went to school. It's in a gated community. Our parents are gone a lot of the time out of state, leaving the house to my sister and I and our dog. We have a nice house, and when we're alone, we sometimes have parties and large gatherings in the backyard because our house is the last house on the canal, and next to the house is a little marsh. The canal keeps going a little bit beyond the house, then cuts off in the marsh. So in one direction, we have complete privacy from any neighbors. One really hot day, my sister and I took our jet skis out. Like I said, it's a 15-minute ride out of the canal where it opens up into a bay. Then we either ride in the bay or sometimes take it under the bridge and out into the ocean. Sometimes the ocean will be too choppy though, so we usually ride in the bay depending on the tide. There's always a lot of boats hanging out in the bay area. After a while of riding around, we stopped in the middle of the bay to just chill out. Only minutes later, a medium-sized boat came over to us, and an older man driving it started making conversation with us. He had to be in his late 50s or early 60s. He was on the heavier side, he had a bit of a gut, and he had a beer in his hand, as he's driving a boat for the record. He basically opened up with asking about our jet skis and telling us about his jet skis and his huge house on the water. He invited us to come swim in his pool, and when we said no thanks, we have to head back soon, he asked where we're from. Like I said, I'm not bragging, but my sister and I are good looking, so we do get the occasional creepers talking to us. We were vague answering his question and just said from the area. My sister did the honors of turning her jet ski on first, indicating we were leaving. We waved goodbye in as friendly a way as possible and started riding around again. We looked at each other and laughed when we got away from his boat. He was mildly creepy for inviting 2 girls who could be his daughters to swim in his pool, but we've seen worse. Not long after, we decided to call it a day and bring the skis in. We idled through the canal, and we were about 80% of the way there. We came to the part of the canal where it intersects with our canal, kind of like a T intersection, and we were now in our part of the canal when we noticed a boat not far behind us in the intersecting part we just passed. It looked like the boat of the man who stopped us before. He was just very slowly drifting forward, passing our canal. We didn't know if he followed us or if he lived down the intersecting canal, but we continued home and docked our jet skis. What happened next was where things got really weird. We were washing our jet skis, and we noticed the man's boat approaching our house in the canal. He stopped his boat right in front of our dock and started talking to us again with his creepy smile, complimenting our house and backyard. My sister came out and said what was on both of our minds. "Why did you follow us here? That's really creepy." He replied that he lives in the community as well and just wanted to check our canal out. I think he got the hint that we weren't comfortable and didn't want to talk to him. He turned his boat around in the marshy area and waved goodbye to us. Neither of us waved back. There's a certain point where you cut the friendly act when people are so outwardly creepy and weird. That was one of those times. We called our dad and told him about the creep. He wasn't happy with us for not getting the registration on his boat, which neither of us thought to do, sadly. Things didn't end there. It was later that night that our dog started barking downstairs in the middle of the night. Both my sister and I woke up to it. I looked out my bedroom window to the backyard, and I swear to God, I saw a large person running across the yard towards the dock, then jumping into something in the water. I lifted the window and looked out, but I couldn't see anything. My sister and I ran downstairs to look out the back door with the lights on. Whoever it was gone. But we'd be kidding ourselves if we said we didn't know who it was. It had to be that creepy man who followed us home. I think having a big dog in the house was the only reason he didn't break into the house. We asked the neighbors on our canal if any of them had cameras that could see the boat from earlier, or perhaps anyone coming down the canal in the middle of the night. Our luck, no one in this gated community really has cameras. Not in their backyards at least. Anytime we go out on the boat or jet skis now, I feel like in the back of our heads, we're always looking for that man and his boat now.